Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Inside the Force, Dave Cottingham here. Of course, with me, Casey Cooley.
Hey, everybody.
I am so glad we waited one more day.
Yeah, no. I was feeling guilty until today.
Yeah, so we got big news to talk about. Some exciting news, not even Episode 7 related. Mm-hmm. Basically Star Wars and beyond. And some other news that came out this week. So a lot of news we're going to talk about in this episode, as well as Star Wars number 3, the comic that came out on Wednesday from Marvel, continuing the canon Star Wars run of comics. And among other things. So we'll get going as soon as I tell you that we are at InsideTheForce.com. There you can check out the entire catalog of episodes we've done, dating back for almost 2 years now.
Yep.
Wow.
It's been a long journey.
It's been a long journey. Of course, there you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube channel, 21 Network YouTube channel there, where we get some videos going up. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and TuneIn Radio. All those apps you can get in the app stores and Google Androids. And, of course, our RSS feed is right there, too, if you want to subscribe to that. He's Kryptoni1138 on Twitter.
Yep.
I'm D. Cottingham21. Hit us up a tweet, and you can send questions our way through Twitter or at info@insidetheforce.com. That's our email address. So, anyway.
That's it.
That's all. I don't know what else you need.
That was a long-winded intro. There you go.
But anyway, some big stuff coming up. I'll briefly just talk about real quick. This weekend is Lexington Comic Con.
Yes.
If you are in the area of Lexington, Kentucky, or the surrounding area, I highly suggest checking that out. It's if you remember last year, if you kind of listened to us last year, we talked to our good buddy Tom Kane.
That's right, yeah.
He was there, had that on the show. That was the second time we actually talked to him.
Right.
And that was right after
it's pretty soon
the Clone Wars came out, the Lost Missions, because we talked to him beforehand.
Right. Yeah.
Then we talked to him afterwards about those Yoda episodes. So that was a really cool part of it. Now, this year, now I just want to make it clear, we've got an agreement going on with the guy that's running it. His name's Jared. This is, I think, the third or fourth year that they've done it. Last year, 2014, Lexington Comic Con has become the biggest convention draw of the year.
For Kentucky or even
for Lexington?
For Lexington, okay.
You know, they have convention events every week.
Yeah.
LexCon was the biggest draw last year.
Scarefest.
Bigger than Scarefest.
Holy
Bigger than the boat show.
Oh, the boat show.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a pretty big deal.
They brought in about 38,000 people last year. So, and he said his sales are just as good this year, if not better.
Oh,
so we're talking a lot of people, and I would say I do have to admit, I think their guests are a little less
high profile. Maybe,
I guess. Yeah. They had Robin Lord Taylor on the list.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Penguin on the Gotham.
Yeah.
On Gotham, Penguin on the Gotham. The Penguin on Gotham.
It's like a band name.
Yeah.
Well, Penguin on the Gotham.
That is a band name. Wow. But he had to drop out because they're still filming.
Yeah.
That would have been an enormous get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He had Manu Bennett cancel out.
Mm-hmm.
Manu Bennett, if you know, who was Slade Wilson, Deathstroke on Arrow. He's also the White Orc on the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the latest one.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the White Orc.
From all the
yeah.
That's the main bad guy, right?
Yeah, the guy got his arm cut off.
Wow. Well,
that's Manu Bennett.
to watch that again.
I know.
I thought it was like pure digital, but oh well, that's cool.
Well, it's one of those motion capture.
Okay.
But he played that guy. So anyway, but I wanted to point out, they always do have some notable Star Wars guys there.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Kane last year, they had Daniel Logan.
Yeah.
They had, forgive me, the guy who played Dak. He's actually following us on Twitter. And they had one other guy. But anyway, this year, who I'm hoping we get some words from, we're going to try. Jeremy Bullock is going to be here, the original Boba Fett. Probably the biggest name, thanks to the movies coming out. Peter Mayhew will be here as well.
Yeah. John Morton.
John Morton.
John.
Yeah, you're right. John. Morton. You're right.
John Morton.
So Star Wars, that's who they got coming, those two guys. Actually, in the third, Jake Lloyd will be here as well.
Awesome.
So guys that will probably show up at Celebration as well next month, but they are coming to Lexington. Well, no, she wasn't in there. I thought she was in Star Wars. Was she in Star Wars? Yeah, she was in Star Wars.
Who's that?
Bailing.
She
was a very brief character in episode 3.
Yep.
I can't remember who she played, but she was. I think she played like a background senator or something like that.
Yeah.
She wasn't real big. Anyway, so there's some Star Wars people coming. We're going to try to talk to them. The biggest draw they got this year probably is they got Bill Goldberg.
Hey, there you go.
Big WWF, WWE. They got Tara Reid from the American Pie movies, but most notably Sharknado.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's crazy.
And then they got Ryan Hurst, who is Opie on Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
He also was if you ever saw, he was Batir on Remember the Titans.
Okay.
Which I love. I love that show. So anyway, some big draws. Last year, I gotta say, I'm disappointed that last year they got Carol from
Walking Dead.
Dead. They didn't get any Walking Dead people, which kind of makes sense because they're still filming.
Yeah.
But she was able to come up last year.
She's from Kentucky.
And she is from Kentucky. Another Kentuckian, Shatner was here.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Shatner was here last year. So they had some pretty big draws last year. So hopefully this year people aren't turned away by the fact that Robin Lord Taylor got mixed up with filming and couldn't come out. But anyway, so if you're around Lexington, you can get your Star Wars fix. Just like any con, fantastic vendors though.
Mm-hmm.
You get all kinds of stuff, all kinds of shirts, all kinds of comics. If you want to look and get some comics, I mean, it is.
Yeah, you said they're expanding this year.
They did. They normally it's just that main floor there. Have you been there?
I haven't been to the convention, but I've been to the convention center.
Okay,
so
they had the main floor there where they have all the vendors, and then kind of around the vendors on the outside is all the celebrities that kind of do their signings. Mm-hmm. Well, now they've had so many requests. They are upstairs as well in the ballroom. Yeah. They put another 80 vendors up there.
That's awesome.
We have 2 booths up there.
There you go.
So as in I mean 21 Network. We got a couple booths up there. We are got a podcast from there. I don't know. We probably aren't, but me and Russ doing In the Comics, we're going to do some shows there. We're going to try to interview. Again, I'm going to try to interview these guys for this show, though. But I wanted to tell you, because I got it right here, what booths we're actually going to be in. But we have an end cap, which is good because we got 2 booths. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a table there. We're going to have a ton of merchandise there so you can buy. We got 4 or 5 of us just loading up our old comics and stuff like that up there. That's why mine are all here sitting on them. I've been going through. I've been going through them. So come check us out. Here we are. We're at booths. They're right next to each other. They're 3059 and 3052. We're upstairs level at Lexington Comic Con. So come.
Awesome. And I see here that. Get your tickets at the door now because all the pre-sale tickets have ended.
Correct.
So get your tickets at the door, but Friday night tickets are sold out actually.
Well, Friday night's only VIPs.
Oh, okay.
So you had to get a VIP badge to go Friday night. So regular admission is Saturday and Sunday only.
Okay.
And it's from 10 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday. So come out. If you have a VIP, you can go Friday night, and then you can show up at 9 on both days. On the weekend, get in a little earlier. So,
awesome.
But we got media badges, so
we're in.
We can go anywhere we
like
want.
Wayne's World will hold all badges up to everybody's faces.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Distracted for a second.
Yeah, I got a text from Russ. Anyway, okay, so that's kind of wanted to jump into that real fast. The Lex Comic Con again this weekend in Lexington, Kentucky. We're gonna do all kinds of stuff. Stay tuned to the network to see
pics
all of
and
that.
vids.
Pics and vids, tons of pics and vids. Yeah, cosplayers all over the place, man. It's crazy.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into you want to get into the news. Or you want to talk the comic? You want to do a review first?
Let's review because there's some big news up.
Lots of news. Yeah. Okay.
Comic first.
So this week, issue 3 of Star Wars came out for Marvel, continuing, actually ending this story arc. So, Case, review it.
I loved it. I might have liked this as the best issue in this arc. And sometimes it's hard for me to distinguish the past issues with like the Darth Vader sometimes because they're going at the same time, pretty much. But this was really good, and it just made me think too about Leia, honestly, in this, because Leia 1 just came out last week, and we were talking about how she's kind of depicted differently in this comic in a way. Like she's not your typical Princess Leia. But like the Leia from that series and the Leia from the Star Wars series is a little different as well. Like in this one, she seems more like the normal one we see in the movies. Like she's palling around with Han and Luke and all these, the big three are all together. Whereas in the Leia series, she's still kind of like, seems like on her own in a way. Like kind of like her character from episode 4. Like she was still that kind of loner. She's still put on the back burner, a little young girl politician, whereas when we see her in episode 5, she's with the guys, she's with them kind of thing. And so it was just interesting to see that she seemed a little different in the Star Wars series, the Star Wars comic line, and the Princess Leia comic line, like because there seems to be a little time gap in between those two. So for me, they're setting up some sort of character arc in a way, like Leia's transition from this to the Princess Leia. I don't know. I thought it was just a weird little difference between her, and she's actually said it. One of the only curse words ever in Star Wars, so that right there tells me she's a little different.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, but I thought it was really good. I'm just still loving the Vader stuff and how he's kind of realizing who Luke is slowly but surely, and that actually left with a pretty good cliffhanger at the end of this comic with some box and Obi-Wan. What's in the box?
Who knew? What was in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? So I actually have a theory of what might be in the box. So we can talk about that maybe.
Someone's head?
Someone's head. That's the way Padme's head. Oh,
what do you think's in the box?
I think it's a holocron maybe.
Oh.
Maybe it looks a little weird shape. Actually, it looks like more like a book type shaped box. But because they left off where they said, since your Obi-Wan's gone, who's going to train Luke kind of thing. And that's it. Luke basically said that, how am I going to be a Jedi without Obi-Wan Kenobi? Then it goes to his hut, and then it focuses on the box. So I thought maybe it's a holocron, and I was thinking if it's
that would make sense.
If it's a holocron, that kind of made me think too, like, whoa, that means Luke had the holocron. Maybe if he still had it in episode 5 and 6, maybe he still has it in episode 7. Maybe we'll see that holocron. Maybe that holocron can help other Jedi become Jedi in the later films.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool if there's some crazy connection like that. But maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. I was just spitballing.
It's possible. Yeah, because you know what's possible is that actually it may not be. I'm with you. It could be a holocron, or it could just simply be some kind of communication device, or another way of getting in touch with another live Jedi.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool to see.
So maybe he gets trained again by somebody a little bit that we don't know of.
New character. That'd be so cool.
And then, of course, Vader ends up taking that person out.
Yeah. Kill him.
Again.
Done.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because Vader doesn't know, obviously, Yoda's alive. He doesn't know that there's possibly other Jedis around.
What if it's Kanan or Ezra?
Or Ezra. Wow, that's actually probably not a. But see, he's never been. He's never trained as a Jedi either, though. Really.
Yeah, I mean, that's something.
Like, unless I guess we don't know. We don't know how far he goes with the next few years, but
yeah.
And that's a big thing about. That's why I'm so looking forward to Kanan's comic.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's just a Padawan that went into hiding, so he's technically hasn't become a full Jedi Knight either. So I'm wondering what happened there, and there's all that mystery with his master and all that stuff. So there's something there, and there's got to be some connection with either one of those guys with Episode 7.
Yeah.
So anyway, God, everybody's calling. Well, Chad's calling me now. What the?
Doesn't he know?
So, I agree with you. I think it was by far I think it by far has been the best issue so far of all the series. Vader's been really good, but we've only had 2 issues of that.
Yeah.
But this one, this one said a lot. To put Han and Leia in a bit tough spot.
That was a good moment, actually. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
when they're about to go down.
I know. And Luke had to come save him again, and Chewie saving 3PO and getting the Falcon back. And
actually, I had a question. It seemed like C-3PO was talking to Wedge.
Yeah, he was malfunctioning or something.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah,
thinking back to something.
His eyes were off, and it was just he was
being weird.
It was weird.
Okay,
because I guess his master is Captain Antilles still, right?
I suppose.
Well,
no, it's Luke now.
It is Luke now.
I was thinking he was like malfunctioning
Wedge before that.
Thinking about something that happened earlier, like
probably
like an early on memory or something like that with Wedge, and kind of reflecting back on it now.
Because Captain Antilles is dead.
Dead, Dunzo. He's
Gandhi. Choked.
Neck broke or choked. Yeah,
choked out.
That was cool. And Vader was choking that guy. Like he at the end. What was it like?
Yeah.
I can't remember what they were saying. Like that he was talking to some guy over the intercom.
It was the Star Destroyers telling them that they didn't stop him.
That's right. And you just hear, it's just,
Yeah.
Oh, great. And there's another one. He's dead too.
I mean, why would you even talk to him after that? You just need to go away.
Can you imagine that conversation to the guys before he started that conversation with Vader? He's like, oh my gosh. Like, how much one base going to force choke?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be dead. And suddenly he's dead.
Apology accepted, Captain Nita.
Just so you know, he never really accepts your apology. He's probably going to kill you.
Wait, that was Captain Nita, right? That got in the movies? Yeah. When he's like, I will upload a show and apologize to Lord Vader personally.
Good for you. Way to stand up.
I just think Captain Nita because of the card game. Captain Nita is a pretty big card, nice card, but he's like, apology accepted, Captain Nita. Yeah.
Wait, did he really? I don't understand. Did he really accept it? Note to self: don't apologize to Lord Vader.
Yeah. Okay. So check that out on your newsstand or comic stands right now, comic shops.
You know who is checking them out? George Lucas himself.
I know. Right? I heard that.
Yeah, there's a picture, an article about him coming. I guess maybe to his local comic shop.
No, he was in New York and he went to Midtown.
Okay, wow, I didn't know it was that one. Jeez.
Yeah.
So he went in and bought like all the issues of all the new stuff because like I haven't read them yet. I want to read them. And
that's awesome. You imagine just standing there and like, hey, you think this is any good? And like, yeah, it's okay.
He went
it's
to him.
George Lucas.
Do you know where the Star Wars section is? And it's right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
George Lucas. But
hey, man, you look like George Lucas.
I get that all the time. He winks at him, and walks away.
I wonder if anybody said that, right?
Yeah. But
God, you should cosplay as George Lucas.
Jeez. Like I feel I'm really happy for him because I'm glad he's getting to experience it from a fan's point of view now. I bet he's all giddy. That's good.
You think he's mad at all?
I don't know. If he reads something in the comics, he's like, I would not do it that way.
I gotta say, I mean, just in general, I think Disney is doing a fantastic job with the stories so far.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I haven't gotten deep as I want to in the novels. So I'm waiting for like Vacation to let to burn through them.
Spring Break, woo!
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to read the novels. Like I said, I started reading Heir to the Empire, Heir to the Jedi.
Yeah.
Again, it threw me off a little bit because it was the whole first person thing, but it's cool. I
Yeah.
mean, it's cool to get into Luke's mind and know that that's canon and all that stuff. So it's just knowing that stuff's canon is just way different.
Makes
You know what I
you
mean? It is because last year we read Star Wars from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Great story.
Yeah.
Great story, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter now because we were talking about it, which we'll mention later on. But they created the Rogue Squadron. There was a story in there that created the first Rogue Squadron. You know, Wedge was tasked with creating a new name for his squad, and he came up with the Rogues.
Whoa.
But don't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's not real.
Not real.
So anyway.
Never happened.
So check out that. Forgive me. I should look up what's coming, if there's coming out anything next week for comics. Real fast. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here.
No.
Next week, I don't think they're. Yeah, next week actually, Princess Leia #2. I mean, that's it. So Princess Leia #2 is going to be out next week. Looks like Darth Vader is not out yet. #3 is not out. Probably the week after. So I mean, it's going to get to the point where every week we'll have a Star Wars book, which is unbelievable.
Great.
It's awesome. So we'll report and review that Princess Leia #2. Again, if you heard us last week, we talked about Princess Leia. Man, was that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like 2 weeks. Every 2. See, I will say this, and I'm going on a little rant. I'm a little. I don't like Marvel's, even though it's Disney, but it's still Marvel comics. I don't like Marvel comics is comic ethics, to be honest. And what I mean by that is all their books most of their books are $4 for one. So they're good ones that they know.
Yeah.
Star Wars, $4. Spider-Man, $4. Like Avengers and stuff like that's $4. And like this, they put them out almost basically every other week, twice a month.
Yeah.
So they're just bleeding people out, man. I mean, Russ, Russell, who does the comic show with me, and he's he reads a lot of Marvel, but he had to scale back because I mean, you're paying twice as much a month for the same amount of books you do from DC.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I was when I was starting off, and just getting monthly. But back in the day, the Superman Batman comic series used to be twice every other week.
Oh, really?
Before the New 52. So it was, I'd cut back. Like, I always have a period where I would buy a lot of comics and then I'd stop for a while because I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And then I'd start again and then stop again. It was just, because you could buy, even just buying 10 comics a month, it's like $20-$30 a month, depending on the comic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot for some people.
And I'm still not, and this is comics in general on the DC side as well, but I still have a problem with, maybe I'm the only one, I still have a problem with why it's $4 if I want to. Okay, so, well, I take that back. I go to a comic shop and I buy, I pay $4 for, actually it is $4, $3.99 for a Batman book.
Okay.
If I want to buy it on my iPad or my pad or my Surface I got now, the digital version is $4 as well.
Yeah, no, yeah.
How is it the same price?
Well, anyways, for that, I always thought if you buy a physical copy, you should get a digital copy for free.
Totally agree with that.
No matter what it is, but yeah.
Which is the good thing on the Marvel side. You do get the digital version. Mm-hmm. So when you buy the physical copy of Marvel, and I don't know if it's everyone, but the ones I have seen, and maybe it is only the $4 books, you do get the digital code in the Star Wars book or Marvel book that you get. Now, DC doesn't do that.
Right.
Which I am with you.
But it should be a little cheaper, too.
It should be a little cheaper. At least, yeah, I never understood, because if I would just want to buy digital books, for some reason I would think that they would be cheaper, because I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
I'm not buying, you know what I mean? There's not a physical thing that I am buying.
Yeah.
I can understand the cost of printing and paper and stuff.
You're paying the artist and the whatever the writer goes to them a little bit, perhaps.
But the markup that the comic shop is getting, you know what I mean? It's I don't know. Anyway, little comic rant.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to read it.
Dang it.
So, anyway, Princess Leia number 2 coming. Okay, so let's get into some massive news here, Case. I'll let you take it away.
All right. Well, the biggest thing that came out today, I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about the today stuff.
Sure.
Was 2 things. One, I guess I'll do episode 8 has a it has an official release date now of May 26th, 2017. That is right there. Awesome, because you don't have to wait 2 full years after episode 7 to get episode 8.
Less than a year and a half.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Less than a year and a half, which means that they've been working on it.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. So that's incredible. No title for it, but it's just Star Wars Episode 8. And, May 26th. I mean, I'm glad it's less than a year and a half, but also it's back to the May release date, not December.
Correct.
Like, that's interesting that they made that move back.
And they mentioned it's exactly 40 years and 1 day from the release of Episode 4.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what I've always loved. Like these, like the Star Wars releases were always around my birthday. So it's like, now it's a great birthday tradition now. Again, go see Star Wars movies.
I know, it makes you kind of upset that Episode 7 is not coming out in May. I know,
but yeah, oh
well.
So that's the big first piece of news. And the second is the first Star Wars standalone film, not spin-off as it's sometimes incorrectly labeled, I think. Standalone film, which this one is the Gareth Edwards directed one, written by Chris Weitz, who is writing, wrote Cinderella. I actually didn't know that. That one is called Rogue One. They released the title today, Rogue One. And that release date is December 16th, 2016. So almost a full year, pretty much, after Episode 7, you'll get the first standalone film. And then 5 months later, like 5 months and 10 days later, you get Episode 8. That is awesome, man. That's so cool. And just every year you get a Star Wars movie.
Every year.
That's incredible. So Rogue One, I mean, that's huge.
Yes. And there's already been a casting for that.
Yes.
Felicity Jones.
She's official now. Felicity Jones, who's from A Theory of Everything.
Yep.
But she's the only one, because I know this is also the rumored where Aaron Paul was rumored to be in it. But
right. She's the only confirmed actress that's in the movie so far.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, Rogue One.
But let's talk about Rogue One here.
I feel like that tells you a lot. And I was actually asking some of my buddies about it too. They had some disagreements, but about what it could be about. It seems to me that it's obviously it's going to be about Rogue Squadron a little bit. But Rogue Squadron and what point in their history, in their timeline. Like, I feel like that Rogue One, it could potentially be maybe about the origin of Rogue Squadron. Kind of after Episode 4, before Episode 5. And because Rogue One is the call sign for the leader, Rogue Leader. Pretty much. I mean, it's never been identified in the movies, though, right? Like, no one's been called Rogue One explicitly, but there has been Rogue Leaders.
Oh, so they're calling. What do you mean? They're saying Rogue One is Rogue Leader?
That's what I saw. I mean, I guess I was looking on Wikipedia about it, seeing if they had any. But they have the canon legends.
Correct. On canon, Rogue Leader was just the call sign, and it's only appeared in Episode 5 during the Battle of Hoth.
So they've never established Rogue One ever.
Not in the films.
Yeah, in the EU, Rogue One was Rogue Leader.
Correct.
I mean, it makes sense that is the case.
Yes.
So that's why I feel like the film Rogue One will be about the origins of Rogue Squadron, and you'll get I don't think it'll be Wedge. I think it may actually be a new character who's maybe going to initiate Rogue Squadron and kind of do it. But it's interesting, like, if it is taking place in the original trilogy and it's about Rogue Squadron, you're going to have, I would think, Wedge and Luke in there somewhere, because they are a part of Rogue Squadron. Unless this is a really isolated incident about one man.
Well, remember, they said Now, if I remember, they said that no characters from the episodic films will be in these standalone movies.
Yeah. I mean, that's, if we were reading it wrong, that's what we've been saying there. But I don't know. I mean, either that or they're just going to have the Rogue One be something based after Episode 6. I mean, Rogue Squadron was in Episode 6, right? Did they still exist at that time?
Yeah, I think they were still Rogue Squadrons.
Yeah. And they were... I mean, I don't know if it makes total sense that they are still Rogue Squadron after that.
No, they weren't. Remember, because they were Gold Leader, right? Wasn't the Millennium Falcon Gold Leader?
But that might have been just for that.
That's true. There could have been still Rogues because they had Blue Squadron, they had Green Squadron. Well, again, that's not canon. Although Blue Squadron is, because of that story that was in Star Wars Insider.
Yeah,
was Blue Squadron, so they still probably are recognizing the colors.
So let me see what you can say for canon about. And there's nothing like for Rogue Squadron. All you know is that it was just the squadron, and for the Rebel Alliance, I mean, there's nothing else really information about it because nothing else is canon.
And it was only mentioned in Episode 5.
Yeah,
so they weren't mentioned in Episode 6, even though they could have been still around.
Correct. So
the question is after Episode 6, it's possible they still have the Rogue Squadron. So this could take place after Episode 6.
Yeah. What if it's before even Episode 4? Could that be a possibility, you think?
Before Episode 4?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think so. Well, no, because I don't think Rogue was established then.
It wasn't, but I don't know if they could, somehow have somebody trying to start something.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
it might not even reference. Could it not even mean the squadron? It could be.
I don't know.
It could be somebody that's a rogue,
just some rebel
criminal or something like that, and he's just.
Call me
I don't
Rogue
know.
One.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it seems like. I mean, that's a possibility. Absolutely, but it just seems like it's most likely something to do with Rogue Squadron, and if it is I feel like it would be in between Episode 4 and 5. Yeah, so that's what kind of my friends were saying. Like, they don't think it is just because you wouldn't recast Wedge or Luke because they would have to be in it if it's about Rogue Squadron, and I see that. But
I would think because Wedge. Now, see, what was his? We could actually probably look his call sign up right in Episode 6 because Copy Gold. He was talking to Lando.
Yeah,
he was Gold Leader, right?
I'll try.
And maybe he was Rogue Leader. Was he Rogue Leader then?
He might have been. I mean, Luke was Rogue Leader in Episode 5, and it only lists one leader in the canon section. So, like, let's see. In the battle, he was Red Leader during the Battle of Endor. He was back to Red Leader.
He was Red. They went back to Red.
He was Red Leader during Endor, and he was just a member of the Snow Speeder Unit Rogue Squadron during Battle of Hoth.
See, now that's the thing too. Are the Rogue Squadron just the speeders and the TIE fighters?
I don't think so.
And then the X-wings are the Red Squadrons? Because the Blue Squadrons have to do with a lot of the Y-wings.
No,
or the B-wings.
Rogue Squadron includes X-wings as well. It's Snow Speeders and X-wings. It says here.
Oh,
so Wedge.
That's canon.
It's canon. Yep. Because I mean, what if and I mean, we can think about this. So it's hard to get our minds out of the EU mindset.
Totally.
In canon, what we've seen so far of Wedge Antilles in canon, he's not that big of a character.
He's not.
So in the books, he's huge. He is the creator of Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
He is the creator. He actually becomes a general after the books. He becomes a much bigger character after the books. But in the movies, in canon, he's not that big of a character. Honestly, he took down an AT-AT and he helped a lot in the fighters, but he was never Rogue Leader. That was Luke.
No, but apparently, apparently he was. See, I don't think he was a leader in Episode 6.
It says Red Leader. I'm pretty sure I have to watch it again, but I think he was Red Leader. I'm pretty sure. He was Battle of Yavin. It was just Red 2. He was Red 2 in the Battle of Yavin. And then...
Yes, he was definitely Red 2.
Squadron. Then
he was Rogue 3 on Hoth,
right,
and then
back to Red Leader in
he was Red
Episode
Leader.
6. Yeah.
So he took over.
So Red 2, then Rogue, then Red Leader. So he took over the leader position.
Okay.
So he's not done very much. So Rogue One, someone else could have started Rogue
Red
Squadron.
Leader. Yeah, Red
in
Leader.
between 4 and 5. It could have been a totally different guy, a new character that we haven't even heard about. And then maybe something happens to him, and Luke Skywalker is promoted to Rogue Leader, Rogue One kind of thing, if they do that common association. So this could be a totally isolated incident of some guy separate from Luke Skywalker, separate from Wedge, creating Rogue Squadron. And then he might bite the dust at the end of the film. And they say, maybe like, who will take over Rogue Squadron? Oh, Luke Skywalker. But they don't ever show him, or something like that. Could that be a possibility? Perhaps.
Perhaps. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard because of the canon.
Yeah.
It's just so little information now.
So that's why I think, they think they're doing they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they're going to de-emphasize Wedge in the canon universe.
Well, Wedge, as in the actor who played Wedge, was asked to reprise his role in Episode 7, but he turned it down.
So maybe that's one of the...
So that's probably when Oscar Isaac stepped in, because that might have been Wedge's character that's supposed to be doing that, the fighter pilot.
So he ruined his chances of becoming a huge character in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So they're going to squash Wedge out, I feel like. Or like move him out of canon. Well, not like move him out, but like just de-emphasize his role as it is in the EU.
So you think it's going to be during the original trilogy time?
I mean, that just makes most sense to me. In between 4 and 5, and some guy's creating Rogue Squadron, and Wedge isn't even a part of it, nor is Luke. And they have like maybe a whole other cast of characters come in to start Rogue Squadron.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. I could also see, It could also, literally could be a rogue fighter that kind of is on his own somehow, gets lost or drifted away, and not, I don't know. It could be, the story could be nothing to do with
Rogue Squadron,
fighter pilots or anything, or not, or a dogfight or anything like that. It could be a secret, like you said, maybe it's just one secret mission of a fighter.
Yeah, and like maybe the title has something to do with something that happens at the end of the film. Like it's leading up to the point of Rogue Squadron, so it's about something totally different. And at the end, these series of events leads to the creation of Rogue Squadron, and the main character ends up becoming Rogue One at the very end. Something like that, maybe.
I mean, and don't get it past them. They have said a little bit that, okay, you're not going to see original, characters from, but, I mean, who's to say Oscar Isaacs isn't Rogue One?
But the time if this is taking place, before Episode 7.
Or after Episode 7. It takes place, it's Episode 7 first.
Yeah.
This standalone could be after Episode 7.
Yeah. It's just all how you interpret that quote from Kennedy. Like, I think she needs to kind of go back and talk a little bit more about what she means.
Yeah.
That's totally,
I think that's probably the least likely to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be all new characters.
Yeah.
Because, they're obviously casting different people right now. So, because we know Felicity Jones is not in the Episode 7.
Yeah.
So, who's she playing? That's the thing, too.
Maybe she's Rogue One.
She could be Rogue One. I would not put that past anybody because, think about it. They're trying to expand and be diverse and, a woman-led Star Wars film, that's definitely not a realm of possibility. So, especially, she's an Academy Award nominated actress. So, anyway, okay, so along with that, you said the news of Episode 8. That's not really much to talk about there. Besides, also it's been, and I'm just repeating it, but the Ryan Johnson confirmed to write and direct.
That's awesome.
Episode 8. Now, did you mention his credits?
Not him, no.
Okay, so his latest credits was he wrote and directed Looper, a sci-fi movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. Great film. Great film. He also did the indie film Brick. If anybody hasn't seen that, you need to see it. It's fantastic. And something I didn't actually know, he directed several episodes of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Love that show. So he's definitely got some great directing credits. Obviously J.J. Abrams is executive producing, so the story's got to be pretty much already there. But it's going to be a little different. I was kind of one of those hoping that J.J. would stick on for the trilogy, but I can understand getting some other guys. Now, it was rumored that Ryan Johnson was going to finish the whole trilogy out too, but that obviously hasn't been announced. So, all right, big news there.
Big news.
Big thing to see there.
Huge, wild, crazy,
huge. All right, so what's
about the books? There's some big updates with the books coming out.
Yeah,
the Disney Publishing. They basically have like this new kind of publishing plan, I guess, and it just relates to even just this year alone, which it's wild. I'm trying to find, here it is. Basically, they're calling it Journey to Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So it's coming this fall of 2015. Disney Publishing worldwide and Lucasfilm are going to publish more than, basically, they're calling it 20, they're saying 20 titles, but like basically 20 books or junior novels, whatever, 20 titles available in print and digital that will feature narrative stories for the kind of young adults, middle grade, as well as adults audience. It's going to be comics, books, short stories, whatever it is. Basically 20 individual titles are going to be released this fall that will lead up to The Force Awakens. Now, I'm kind of skimming through here, but does this mean, like, is it like all relating to Episode 7, leading up directly to Episode 7, or it's just Star Wars books coming out that will just come out before Episode 7, but story-wise not necessarily related to Episode 7?
I don't know. Because they're calling all of this Journey to Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, it's probably some character pieces.
Yeah.
Because some of them I think focus on maybe like the droids, C-3PO and R2 and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think a majority of it is gonna happen right before Episode 7, but
yeah,
some might not.
Here are just some fun interesting little quotes from the publication company. Basically, one says, the filmmakers have a lot of surprises in stores, and the hints and puzzle pieces in the publishing program will keep fans guessing until the film opens. Until then, let the anticipation and the speculation begin. So, looks like some of these will definitely relate, and we'll have like little Easter eggs kind of things that will relate directly to the movie of Episode 7, which that sounds awesome. And some of the titles have already been released, kind of going through some of them here. Star Wars Aftermath is one that's published by Del Rey. Lost Stars is another story by Disney Lucasfilm Press. Smuggler's Run, a Han Solo adventure, is a Disney Lucasfilm Press, and that's, I think, a junior novel, which I'm sure a lot of these probably will be. The Weapon of a Jedi, a Luke Skywalker adventure. Moving Target, a Princess Leia adventure. Star Wars, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Absolutely Everything, which is 2 pages.
Now, what is DK? What is that?
I feel like I've seen that brand before, but I'm not sure what that stands for.
Yeah,
but I think they've done Star Wars in the past. I think they've done those encyclopedias. I think. Oh. I think that's, if you want to double check me on that, I'm pretty sure that's what the company does. Star Wars: Journey to the Force Awakens, which is a Marvel comic. So a comic coming out will be called Star Wars: Journey to the Force Awakens. Might be something I don't know, okay, maybe a story leading up, I guess, or behind the, I don't know what it could be. Who knows? Prologue, a prequel, whatever. Star Wars: Journey to the Force Awakens C-3PO, another Marvel comic, and Star Wars: Ships of the Galaxy, published by Studio Fun International. So probably another like encyclopedia type book. So that's a lot right there, and they're publishing, about a dozen or so more just this year. They're really hitting the ground running with this thing, and everything, all of that, everything is canon now. So all that stuff I just said, those titles and all the other 20 titles, whatever, will all be canon. Just adding to that new bank of official Star Wars information.
So DK is DK Publishing, so it's another publishing house basically. But Del Rey does all novels. DK does pretty much everything else.
Okay.
They do the junior novels. They do the encyclopedia guides and all the tie-in stuff like Angry Birds and Legos.
Wow. Yeah.
So they do all the encyclopedias, like you said, and paperbacks, sticker books.
Okay.
Cool. But who's the who's Lucasfilm Press? Disney Lucasfilm Press.
I think that's a lot of the I've seen they have like an online like ebook publication kind of thing.
Oh.
I think that's what a lot of that is. I mean, they probably have the hard copy maybe publications as well to go along with it, but I've seen a lot of new stuff coming out on their strictly ebook site, and I think that's what Disney Lucasfilm is referring to, because they're going to do some of the novelization of the original trilogy films, episodes 4, 5, and 6, and they're doing versions of those as a junior kind of ebook version under that Disney Lucasfilm Press. And I think they might even republish it as a full novel later on. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's their kind of junior novel type deal. But pretty cool. I mean, we're already in that. That might include as well the new Lords of the Sith book. I'm assuming, but maybe I'm wrong. And the Last Padawan and the Ventress story coming out. You think that includes those 3 stories as well?
Which one?
The Ventress, Kanan.
No, I don't think so.
The separate from that?
Yeah, I think that's separate.
Well,
it's not listed on that list,
so,
and that's already been announced. So.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Yeah, it looks like Disney Lucasfilm Press, which was founded just last year. Yeah, it looks like they've been doing a lot of the small, like Rebels storyline stuff.
Okay.
So they've been doing young reader books, junior novels, because they did Ezra's Gamble, Rise of the Rebels.
Okay.
All these little smaller books that are out there. What's become amazing is that there actually is a ton of canon stuff out there that I don't even know about.
Like the insider stuff?
Yeah, well, not just there's the insider stuff, but there's a lot of these junior novels that I didn't, I never really anticipated reading, but I mean, it's all canon stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm looking at a list of, in August alone, looks like there were 6 junior novel books. October had 2, 3, 4. November had a couple. December had a couple. They put out one in January, one in February. In March comes out. There's one called Servants of the Empire, Rebel in the Ranks. These are all canon as far as I know. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're canon. Yeah, here's the forthcoming young reader books. Did you mention? Yeah, here's forthcoming junior novels. Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
Weapon of a Jedi. Moving Target. Princess Leia Adventure. Yeah. So those are junior novels that are coming out. So they're really focusing on the kids, trying to get the kids, young readers in there.
Great.
So these novels, I think the Del Rey is still the novels. So you're getting Star Wars Aftermath, which is your Del Rey book, And then that looks like it's the only novel coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a couple comics, and then you got obviously all these young reader stuff. So that's what it looks like. Just to clarify,
Yeah.
Del Rey is the novels, the big novels that
Yeah.
Tarkin, Heir to the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Lucasfilm Press are the young readers and the junior novels, and then DK Publishing is basically all the encyclopedias and
Fun stuff.
Legos, tie-in stuff, tie-in books, and then you got Marvel Comics, obviously doing the comics. So those are different types of publishing that they got. So many.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Awesome.
That
Speaking of
was big news though, because it's a big question. It was a big question on what they were gonna. I figured there would be like a couple comics coming out, definitely, which there are, but a lot more other stuff too.
Yeah. So I think the next thing coming out is Lords of the Sith, which looks awesome.
I think that's it. I think that's April, right?
I think so. I was trying to look it up really quick, but yeah, it looks great. Yeah, they just released that they're going to have the first official homosexual character in that book, first canon, which is causing some controversy. And actually, it's interesting. And when at school, one student was talking about it, and she was talking about how she heard that she kind of got it a little incorrect. She said the first official homosexual character in the next Star Wars film called Lords of the Sith. And I was just like, whoa. Hold on. And I always have to warn people, like, I'm going to warn you. I'm going to get a little nerdy here for a second, but I have to correct you. So I just said, like, it's the next book coming out, and it's called Lords of the Sith. The movie's Force Awakens. And I was just trying to make sure all the kids know that there's no confusion about what's going on in the world.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, April 28th is the release date for that.
Okay.
Written by Paul S. Kemp, Lords of the Sith. And this actually takes place between episode 3 and Star Wars Rebels. So,
very cool.
Somewhere in between that 14-year span.
That looks awesome.
That's good. Yeah, crazy. It's just really about Vader and the Emperor. And
it's like a buddy film, like they get lost. Like, how are we going to get out of this one, Emperor? I don't know, Darth.
Stiff.
Yeah. Sheev.
Oh, no, Sheev.
Yeah,
That's
Sheev.
right, Sheev.
Old Sheev.
Why did I say stiff? Sheev.
That's a weird name. S-H-E-E-V.
E-E-V.
Sheev. Old Sheev. Don't call me that in public, Darth.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought we were close. I call you Sheev. You call me...
Come on.
Call me Darth.
Sheev.
Yeah, Sheev, man. Interesting. Oh. Anything else?
What else? Is that it?
I think that's it. That's all the big stuff.
Man, that's all. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Though.
Good stuff.
good
Great
stuff.
stuff. Yeah. Pretty.
Crazy. All right. So that is it. Great big news. Big happenings going on in Star Wars. Again, Star Wars Celebration coming next month, April 16th to the 19th, Anaheim. There's still rumblings and rumors that we're going to get another trailer that weekend. So if you can't make it, I'm sure it's going to be online at some point right after that. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to be at Lexington Comic Con this weekend. Come check us out. If you can't be there, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/21network, where you can get some vids. And, of course, stay tuned. We'll get the podcast going next week again to kind of get you tied up on there. Hopefully have some interviews to drop in. And then we do have an interview scheduled this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Double checking with that. Make sure we got that guest on here. So, actually, you'll probably hear that next week if we can make sure we get that.
Mm-hmm.
But then we'll also again talk about Princess Leia #2, the Marvel comic coming out next week. All right. I think that's really it.
That's great.
That's really it, besides trivia.
Yeah.
And we'll do trivia right now.
Packed week.
Packed week. This is going to be 2392. Watch it be a Rogue Squadron.
Hey, who is Rogue One? What? It's not in the movies.
2392 from our Obsessed with Star Wars book. All right, here we go. 2392. It is a Return of the Jedi question. Which manufacturer produced the speeder bikes used by the Empire on the forest moon of Endor?
Endor.
Manufacturer.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see if I could butcher these names here. Gallifrey Yards Incorporated. So that's A. B. Mandel Motors. C. Mobquet Swoops and Speeders. Or D. Aerotech Repulsor Company.
All right. Let's see here. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to go with D.
That sounds more, yeah, that's what I was thinking immediately. Gallifrey Yards Incorporated. Mandel Motors. That sounds like some junk.
I think they make the Falcon.
Randy Mandel Motors. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Mobquet Swoops and Speeders, Aerotech Repulsor Company. Yeah, I would either say Mobquet Swoops and Speeders, because Swoops is a name for like a swoop bike is a Star Wars thing. So
to me, that sounds too obvious.
yeah, Swoops. Go to the.
That's probably it. That's actually probably the answer.
Go to the speeder store, buy some
I'm going to go
speeders.
with D.
Yeah, I'll do that as well. So D. If I can pull this up with the speaker. So D, Aerotech Repulsor Company. There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody said?
They got it. See,
We are correct.
that's what I would have called the company. That's why.
Aerotech. I was thinking because there is a famous company in the EU that they've incorporated into canon in Rebels. Sinar. I never know how to pronounce the word, but it's like how the company that produces the vehicles and ships. Gosh, I can't even pronounce the company name, but it's So I was thinking of that answer, but didn't see it. So Aerotech, there you go. But that's EU, so it's not real.
No, it's not real. All right, so that'll do it for us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Inside the Force, and send us comments and questions there. You can message us there, and hit us up on Facebook /Inside the Force. That is going to be it for us. InsideTheForce.com. Listen and subscribe. He is Casey Cooley.
Always in future. Always in motion, the future is. I didn't have it in front of me. Always in motion, the future is, because that's the quote that they had on the new Star Wars article on StarWars.com about the new films coming out. So I thought it was very topical because they are right. Always in motion, the future is, with all these Star Wars movies we're getting every single year, forever.
Yes. Oh, last bit before we let you go. They're once again doing the This Is Madness tournament for March Madness, which is really awesome. Looks like there's some new characters going to be in there. Sabine, probably Kanan.
Cool.
Looks like they're going to be part of the fight now. If you haven't been on there, you can go to StarWars.com. There's a big link right there. It starts. I think it starts March 17th. Is that right?
Or 15th. 15th or 17th.
Actually, can you vote right now?
I think you can, actually.
Actually, you can.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually start voting right now. Yeah, there's Sabine. There's Ahsoka Tano, older Ahsoka Tano. Wow, they got Luke Skywalker versus Ezra Bridger right now?
What?
Wait, these are play-ins. So this is not even the tournament yet. These are play-ins. They got four. What the heck is going on here?
I think they're still working on it. Maybe.
It looks like there's 4-man, like,
Battles?
because it has Wedge versus C-3PO versus Admiral Akbar versus Sabine. Then they got Ahsoka Tano versus Kanan versus Luke versus Ezra.
I don't even know about that, man.
Admiral Piet versus General Veers versus Gunray versus Agent Callus. Yeah, this is weird. So anyway, you can go and vote, and then they have. Oh yeah, so okay, I'm looking at the bracket now. It's understandable. There's play-ins, and so one of those 4 will make it into the play-ins. There's 4 play-in rounds.
They get their own little tourneys before.
Yeah,
Got to play for those.
And I don't know how they rank the seeds, but like, so right now in the light side, so you have the light side versus dark side, obviously. So the light side, you have R2 is the number 1 seed. Yoda is number 2. Qui-Gon is 3. So this is the upper bracket.
Yeah.
The play-in is 4. And then, this is weird.
So Luke is on the bubble.
They do seeds. Oh, it's weird how they do it. They do groups of 4.
Yeah.
Like, so I see. So R2, so in the upper bracket, R2 is number 1, Leia is number 2, Hera's number 3, and then the play-in is number 4.
Okay.
Then the next one down, so that's a actually, that's the Rebel category. The Jedi category, old Obi-Wan is number 1, Yoda number 2, Qui-Gon, then the play-in. Then you got the Scoundrels. You got Chewbacca number 1, Han number 2, Lando 3, Zeb 4.
Oh.
Then you got the Republic. You got Padme 1, Captain Rex 2, Gregor number 3.
Gregor.
I don't know who Gregor. Do you know who Gregor is?
Does that have a picture?
Oh, it looks like he's a Rebel Commando, Republic Commando.
Yeah.
And then Jar Jar is 4.
How do you make it?
So on the dark side, real fast, you got Empire and Separatists. You got Tarkin 1, Grievous 2, Inquisitor 3, Plan is 4, Bounty Hunters. You got Boba number 1, Jango 2, Greedo 3, Plan is 4, and then you got the Sith. You got Vader 1, Palpatine 2, Maul 3, Dooku 4, and then of course you got the Underworld, what they're calling it, is Jabba 1. Pre Vizsla 2, Hondo is 3, and then Bib Fortuna is 4. So those are the characters. Now, this is the 3rd year they've done it. First champion, 2013, Yoda. Last year, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that's pretty cool. So basically, every week they redo the matchups. You see who wins, blah, blah, blah. But I think they announce the winner right before the actual championship game. Yeah, it actually comes out then. So anyway, since this is Disney, they usually talk to them on SportsCenter. That's how I know, So anyway, all right. For those you don't know, Disney owns ESPN as well, and ABC, and Marvel and Star Wars. Soon they will own all of us. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. He's Casey Cooley.
Goodbye, everybody.
He's Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I'm D Cottingham21. Check us out next week. Thanks for listening. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.